Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm so sorry about the long wait, but my USB cord to my microphone got a short in it, and my video started skipping about halfway through, so I had to order a new USB cord, in which it arrived today, and I was so happy, you guys. When I'm not able to make videos for you guys, it truly leaves such a void in my life. Like, that's how important this channel is to me. So I was so happy when I got my USB cord, and let's just hope and pray that smooth sailing throughout this video. But we are actually going to be discussing a few things today. First, I got a little bit of a gossip story to tell you guys. And then we are going to be discussing the books that I've read recently, which is only 4 books. Since I recently started taking care of my mother, I get to have a lot more reading time, which is nice. And then after that, I've got a list of bookish boyfriend crushes to go over with you guys. That was actually the video I made in which I realized that my videos were skipping. So we're going to go over that just to make this video a little bit longer. But first, so this happened yesterday, and I don't know about you guys, but Monday always brings like shock factors, whether it be good or bad. This was bad. Very bad. So I was sitting with my mama. We were doing our Bible study that we do every single day, and I heard my phone go off. My email. You know, we have certain sounds like email and text and calls, whatever. And I knew it was my email. And I looked at my phone, and it said $250 from Cash App from him. Dipshit. The man that must not be named. Now, at first, I thought he had given me, because it said, like, you can put like little comments when you send people money. It put for divorce, ? You need to call me. Thanks. That's what he said. For one thing, he sent it to the wrong Cash App. I guess he doesn't know that I created another Cash App when I moved here. But what got me, you guys, was it was not him sending me $250 for divorce. It was him requesting $250 for our divorce. Yeah. You guys, there is a reason I'm not divorced yet. That is because I'm waiting on him to file first. Because with me, I have to pay $200 to talk to a lawyer in South Carolina. I have to, you know, maybe go to South Carolina and go to court and have to see him. Like, there are so many factors that play into me filing. If he filed, he wouldn't have to do shit. He would just have to file for a divorce. They would serve me with the papers. I would sign the papers, and then that would be it. But even though I'm the one that wants the divorce, that wants to be rid of him, he thinks that I would even trust him with $250. Like, oh, for divorce. Right. You know, all the time he used to say to me when I would have to beg my mama for food, or money for food, he'd say, oh, well, she can take that 20 off the money she owes you, so now she only owes you $900. And $9,998 or whatever, you get it. So I almost messaged back, well, I added it all up, and $3,000 a month for 10 years is almost $800,000. So we'll just take that $250 off the $800,000 that you already owe me. But I didn't. But you guys, that put me in such a funk yesterday, because I thought about all the times that we separated and I went back, and my mom would be like, Kelly, please don't go back to him. You are a cash cow. He doesn't love you. You are a cash cow to him. And so, like yesterday, just all the emotions, anger being a top one emotion, just like, because I hadn't heard from him since last June. So, when you see a name or you see somebody that you cut out of your life, it puts you in a certain mood. And I was pissed. All my friends told me, do not send him a dime. Get him to file. So, if he's watching this video, you file. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to sign those papers, okay? I am so ready. I got my pen. Where's my pen? Like, I'm so over this, you guys. I'm so over it. It's been almost 2 years. And I can't do anything. I can't date nobody. I can't do anything until I'm divorced. So please file. Please file. But yeah, I couldn't believe that happened yesterday, you guys. I just could not believe it. Actually, I could. He probably thinks I got my tax check, or he probably, drained his parents dry already and is trying to get a quick $250 from me. Asshole. But anyways, I wanted to tell you guys about that. And knowing that he probably watches my videos, like, I want him to know how fucking sick it made me. So, and to give him this message, say he needs to be the one to file, because I ain't doing shit. So, let's go through the books that I read January, beginning of February. So, hold on. Okay, sorry, I had to take a little second there. But the first book that I read for the month of January is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Now, I had never read a book by Lynn Painter, and this one caught my attention immediately. I actually got this one in Barnes & Noble when I went to Myrtle Beach for my birthday. And I just thought it was so pretty, but it had been on my TBR for a while. So, on the back, Liz Babum has always known that Wes Bennett was not boyfriend material. You would think their next-door neighbor would be a prime candidate for her romantic comedy fantasies. But Wes has only proven himself to be a pain in the butt ever since they were little. Wes was the kid who put a frog in her Barbie dream house. The monster who hid a lawn gnome's severed head in her little homemade neighborhood book exchange. Flash forward 10 years from the great gnome decapitation. It's Liz's senior year, a time spent to be rife with milestones perfect for any big screen, and she needs Wes's help. Sorry, excuse me, hold on. Okay, see, Liz's forever crush Michael has just moved back to town. And horribly, annoyingly, he's hitting it off with Wes, meaning that if Liz wants Michael to finally notice her and hopefully be her prom date, she needs Wes. He's her in. But as Liz and Wes schemed to get Liz her magical prom moment, she's shocked to discover that she actually likes being around Wes. And as they continue to grow closer, she must re-examine everything she thought she knew about love and rethink her own perception of what happily ever after should really look like. You guys know I love rom-coms. They are my guilty pleasure. But I don't know what it is about book form, but I give this one 3 stars just because it was so predictable. Like, I've heard this story so many times before in movies and books, but I did love it. I gotta say that. I loved the banter between Wes and Liz. The banter. I love the banter from like enemies to lovers. And it was very romantic in parts, and I love that. But throughout the whole book, I was like, girl, you are so stupid. But I love that each chapter had like a little movie rom-com quote in it. Like, hold on, I'll find one. Of course. Like in chapter 9 it says, love is patient, love is kind. Love means slowly losing your mind. From 27 Dresses, of course. It was quite repetitive. Because in this book, her mom has passed away, and she mentions it a lot in this book. Like, okay, I don't mean to sound like a bitch or anything, but okay, we get it. Your mom died, and now, like, we get it. I don't like when books are really repetitive like that. Like, okay, we get it. Your mom passed away. Sorry. Get back to the romance now, you know. And I know there is a second book to this book that I really want to read, but I'm waiting for it to come out in paperback. Anyways, it's cute, but yes, I'm waiting for the second one to come out in paperback before I read it. You guys, I finally got a bookshelf. I'm so happy. But it was cute. I'll give it that. But I'll give it 3 stars. So that is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I love the cover too. Dirty Dancing, Say Anything. I know, the boombox. That's one of my favorite love scenes of all time. Like, I might actually have to watch that movie tonight. I love the movie Say Anything. John Cusack is so cute in that movie. Really, really good book. Fast read. Even though it took me a few weeks to read it. It was a quick read. The next one. The Lost Bookshop. This is another one that I purchased at Barnes & Noble when I went to Myrtle Beach for my birthday. On a quiet street in Dublin, a lost bookshop is waiting to be found. For too long, Opaline, Martha, and Henry had been the side characters in their own lives. But when a vanishing bookshop casts its spell, these 3 unsuspecting strangers will discover that their own stories are every bit as extraordinary as the ones found in the pages of their beloved books. By unlocking the secrets of the shelves, they find themselves transported to a world of wonder where nothing is as it seems. I'll also give this one 3 stars. That's because I wish they had just gotten to the point. You know, it was beautifully written. Like, okay, 3.5, okay? It was beautifully written, so descriptive. Like, it really put you in that moment. It's written in different points of view, like Opaline, who lives in the 20s, and Martha in present day, Henry, present day. I'm a big fan of Henry. He is in my Bookish boyfriend crushes list. What I love about Henry is Martha, she just escaped a very toxic marriage. His name's Shane. It's always a Shane. Always an asshole named Shane. And how they meet, spoiler alert, is I think she's living in an apartment under the bookstore, which is lost. And she sees him, like, it's set in Dublin, and she sees him outside her window, like, pacing back and forth, like he's looking for something. He's in search for the lost bookshop, too. And she, like, pokes her head outside, and she was like, what are you doing? And it's just really cute. Meet cute, you guys. Very cute, meet cute. And it's a slow burn with them. Because you obviously know that they're in love with each other, but they are too afraid to say anything. They're afraid to ruin their friendship. Oh, gosh. It's just really, really good. And Martha is like a maid for this woman. God, what's her name? I cannot remember what her name is. I think it starts with a B. But it was just a little bit harder for me to get through because it was written like one of those English, what's it called? Not historical, but, you know, like Pride and Prejudice and A Scarlet Letter and books like that. I've never been into books like that. And this one was kind of written in the same way. So it took some time for me to read this, but it was worth it. I will say that. It was very worth it. It was a beautiful book. And look at this cover, you guys. So that is The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. I definitely recommend you guys read it because, you know, just because I have a certain opinion doesn't mean that you guys might not love it better than I did, you know. Lost Bookshop. My first 5-star read of 2025. The Hiding Place. You guys. Well, for one thing, I sped through this book. Like, I told you guys in my video where I showed you my TBR that this has been a favorite book of my mama's for a long time. And she's always tried to get me to read it. And I don't know why I never read it, because I read every book pretty much about the Holocaust and World War II. And I don't know why I never read it. But I believe that God makes a way that you read something when you need it the most. I pray that God forgives them. Corrie ten Boom stood naked with her sister Betsy watching a concentration camp matron beating a prisoner. Oh, the poor woman, Corey cried. Yes, may God forgive her, Betsy replied. And again Corey realized that it was for the souls of the brutal Nazi guards that her sister prayed. Both women had been sent to the camp for helping the Jews. Christ's spirit and words were their guide. It was his persecuted people they tried to save. At the risk of their own lives, it was his strength that sustained them through times of profound horror. It's giving me goosebumps right now. This book is amazing. It will rip your heart out, though. It will. But I believe that this book needs to be like on the list of books that students need to read in school. Was this book one of the banned books? Because I know that they put the Diary of Anne Frank on the banned list. That is insane. It's like they're trying to cover up every historical thing, like the Holocaust, like trying to sugarcoat things. Like, I don't know what they are thinking. But this book, you guys, it was so amazing. I cried my eyes out. I see Corey and Betsy, they're sisters, and they have been raised to be Christians and to believe in God. But when they are imprisoned at this concentration camp, Corey finds it harder to forgive their captors. But Betsy is the one that every time a guard comes in or she gets beat, anything, it's always forgive them, forgive them, forgive them, forgive them. Oh, sorry about that. That heater keeps making noises like that. I don't know why. But it just made me realize that, especially with my ex, that I need to forgive people who have wronged me, because being bitter and not being able to forgive people in your life that did you wrong, it really puts like a poison inside you. It brings you down. So, as much as I hate him, I forgive him for what he did to me. And because after I read this book, I was like, if her sister and her can forgive these monsters, then I can forgive anybody. Died in Place. Such an amazing book. Hold on. But yes, such an amazing book, you guys. Such an amazing book. By the way, I'm actually fasting today because we do a Wednesday night at church fasting and prayer. And I haven't been doing it. But today I decide I'm going to fast and pray and write in my journal and make this video. But you guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. My friend Paula said the first 24 hours are the hardest. But yes, amazing book. This is the one that I actually finished this morning. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is the first Frida McFadden book that I've ever read. It's been on my TBR for a while. Every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house top to bottom. I pick up their daughter from school and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband Andrew seems more broken every day. But, sorry, excuse me. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it'd be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. I try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it's like. But she soon finds out. And by the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. So, I will give this book 4 stars. It had me up late at night last night. Like, I wouldn't call it triggered, but like, I thought I heard voices outside my window and there was nobody there, and like things like that. Like, it had me on alert last night. It was another fast read. The only reason that The Housemaid is not a 5-star for me, or 4.5, is because it reminded me so much of Verity by Colleen Hoover. Like, at the end, where things are like coming together and there's this huge plot twist, I kind of knew what was coming. Actually, I didn't know what was coming. Like I told you guys, predictability, I can't stand it. I can't stand a book that is predictable. And like I said, it reminded me so much of Verity. So much. But Verity was a 5-star read for me. That was insane ending to that book, you guys. But it was really, really good. It was written very well. She had me questioning my own sanity. And it just, you never know what goes on behind closed doors, do you? But pretty dang amazing. And they're also coming out with a movie. I think it's the end of this year. I always love to read a book before I watch the movie. And Amanda Seyfried plays Nina in the movie. That one girl, Swanee or whatever, the one that played what's her face in Euphoria. She plays Millie, the maid, and then the guy that plays Atlas, and It Ends With Us, is also in the movie. I'm really excited about that. I'm a big fan of Atlas. He should have been on my list of bookish boyfriend crushes because I love him. But very good, very good, very good book. I love books where I can't stop reading them, and this is one of them. Okay, so that is the books that I've read. Now I'm going to get my notebook out, and we are going to talk about my bookish boyfriend crushes. Now, you guys, let me tell you, for the longest time, sorry, hold on, helicopter. Okay, so on this list I have 15 bookish boyfriend crushes. Now, let me tell you guys, for the longest time, since I was 17, I guess, when I watched Twilight for the first time, and Robert Pattinson walks through that door of the cafeteria for the first time, and I fell in love. He is my number one celebrity crush. I think that man is beautiful. He is gorgeous. He is beautiful. I love him. He's gorgeous. In my opinion. I know people don't think, they don't get the hype, but I love that man. So for the longest time, Edward Cullen was my number one bookish boyfriend. But he has been knocked down a peg. Because I guess when I was 30 or 31, I read the series The Court of Thorns and Roses. And Rhys has become my number one bookish boyfriend crush. How they describe him, like suave, dark, mysterious, secretive. Oh my gosh, you guys. I could not tell you an actor. Like, I know they were supposed to do a TV show based on The Court of Thorns and Roses, and they scrapped it for some reason. I don't know. But I couldn't tell you an actor that would be perfect enough to play Rhysand. Like, I know a lot of people say Henry Cavill, but he's getting old, you guys. Like, I couldn't tell you who would play him perfectly, because I love how protective he is. I love how much he loves Feyre. I love the fact that he was willing to stand on the sidelines and watch her get married to his arch nemesis. And he was willing to do that. And just, like, The Court of Thorns and Roses, you don't get the full story about Rhysand until the second book. The Court of Mist and Fury is one of my favorite books of all time. And then you get it, like, you find out, like, talk about plot twist. But Rhysand, oh, he just, oh my gosh. I love him. I love him. I love him. Number 2 is Edward Cullen. Only because I was addicted to Twilight back in the day. I'm not that big of a vampire person. So the only reason he's number 2 is because of Robert Pattinson. That's all. Number 3 and 4 are Harry Potter men. And that is Remus Lupin and Sirius Black. I know you guys probably thought I was going to say Cedric Diggory, right? No. Even though he was played by Robert Pattinson. I love Remus and Sirius so much, you guys. I cried when they died. Once again, I love how protective they are over Harry. But they're secretive too. They've got secrets. I love men that have secrets, you guys. And I love the actors that played them in the movies, like Gary Oldman as Sirius Black. You guys, oh my gosh. I had to include a couple men in Harry Potter. I almost put Hagrid, but I was like, that's going a little bit far. Number 5 is Miles from Funny Story by Emily Henry. If you have not read Funny Story, I definitely recommend it. I know when it comes to Emily Henry, a lot of people say that Book Lovers is their favorite. It was good, yes. Book Lovers is really good. But Funny Story, it was just the perfect rom-com for me. Miles and whatever the girl's name was, I don't remember. It's been too long since I read the book. They're rooming together because her boyfriend and his girlfriend get together and break up with them. And they don't have nowhere to live, so they decide to room together. And at the beginning of the book, it kind of makes you not like Miles that much. But then as the book goes on, it's a slow burn, by the way. It's definitely a slow burn. I think, but Miles, he's just so dreamy. Yeah, guys. Like, he's so dreamy. I love the banter between the two leads, too. Like, the banter. I always love the banter. Yeah, I hope they make a movie. Funny story. I really, really did enjoy that book. Number 6 should actually be number 3 now that I'm looking at it because I'm obsessed. And that is Colin Bridgerton. Now, I have not read Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, but it is considered a bookish boyfriend crush. I watched the first season of Bridgerton, and I noticed him. I was like, well, he's got that boyish charm about him, and he's kind of cute. Kind of sideburns are kind of long. Like, oh, he's all right. You guys, and then the third season rolls around, and there's a big glow up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with Colin Bridgerton and Penelope Featherington's romance. Obsessed. Penelope is my favorite from Bridgerton. So, Colin Bridgerton, you guys, oh my gosh, that man, absolutely beautiful, handsome, like, that glow up was the best, you guys. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've watched his speech in the carriage when he tells her how he feels about her. I cannot tell you how many times I've watched that and just been like, oh my gosh, Colin Bridgerton is the man. Number 7 is Punk 57 Misha. Now, you guys, when I was growing up and I would see these cute guys with lip rings, but it turned me off for some reason. Like, I was like, how do you even kiss somebody with a lip ring? Like, doesn't it taste like metal? Or like how do you do that? How's that work? And Misha is described as having a lip ring. But Punk 57 was the first dark romance I've ever read. And wow, like, it really made me realize that, okay, so it doesn't matter about the lip ring. Okay, then. I think there's a part where she actually, the main girl, licks it. I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh my god, that's hot. But, yeah, Misha, secretive, dark, just writes his own lyrics, his own song lyrics, you guys. Like, come on. I've always had things for guitar players, you guys. Okay, number 8 is Conrad, From the Summer I Turned Pretty. Now, I hated the books. Hated them with a passion. But I loved the TV show. And I cannot wait for the 3rd season coming out this summer. Like, I thought I was going to have to wait forever, but now we're in February, almost March, and I'm like, man, it got here so quickly. If they don't have Belly ending up with Conrad, I'm going to be so pissed. Seriously. Conrad, to me, is the man that she's always been in love with since she was 12 years old. And I never really got the whole Jeremiah thing. Like, okay, he's hot. Yeah. Like, anybody that has eyes can see that Jeremiah is hot. But, like, when did that turn into a thing where she has to choose between the two brothers? But Conrad was always the one that she was in love with from the time they were kids. So, I think it's only necessary that she ends up with him. Sorry, excuse me. You know, I'm very surprised at myself today. I have not ate not one thing today, and I'm still at that stomach, irritable bowel, whatever. Like, I'm so shocked. Like, come on now. Sorry about that. That is not attractive. I'm sorry. Conrad, I just shy, secretive again. Cute. Oh gosh. They better end up together, you guys, or I'm going to riot. I swear. I love Conrad. 9 is Henry. My God. I feel like that thing's about to blow up on me or something. Like, seriously. Henry from the Lost Bookshop. I love Henry. I don't want to give any spoilers, though. I'll just say this. He tries to pick up the broken pieces of Martha's life and put them back together. I will say that. No spoilers. Just, he tries to be that man that picks up the broken pieces of her heart and put them back together. Makes me think of David, you guys. Oh my gosh. I've got a huge thing for this guy. Like, it's not even funny. Like, I'm trying to go in slowly. Like, okay, just friends. Let's just, comment. He comments on my post. I comment on his post sometimes. But, oh my gosh, I have such a thing for him. It's not even funny. But I love Henry in this book. I really do. I love any love interest whose name is Henry. Number 10 is John from the book Remember Me by Sophie Kinsella. Now, I know Sophie Kinsella is considered like, Confessions of a Shopaholic writer. I read Remember Me years and years ago, and I loved it. Pretty much this girl, again, can't remember her name, it's been too long. She falls on the pavement and she wakes up 6 years later in the hospital. She's married to a rich, wealthy man, and she thinks that she's hit the lottery. She's like, oh my gosh, how did I get so lucky? When did this happen? But then John comes in, and I think it's like a dinner they're hosting, and he was like, we were having an affair. You were going to ask your husband for a divorce. We're in love. And at first she's like, what the hell are you talking about? I've got this huge house and this wealthy husband. Why would I throw all that away? I forgot what John did. I think he was an architect. But she was like, why would I throw that all away on you? But she starts realizing through the book that all that glitters is not gold. And it's funny and romantic and classic Sophie Kinsella rom-com. Definitely recommend it. So, John. Number 11. Hold on one more second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all the cuts, you guys. Number 11 is Ethan from Something Blue. Now, if you don't know, Something Blue was by Emily Giffen. Another Emily Giffen. And if you don't know, it's a series. It's Something Borrowed, Something Blue is the second one. Something Borrowed, it's Rachel, her best friend Ethan, who is secretly in love with her. And then you got her best friend Darcy and Darcy's fiance Dex. But in the book and the movie, Rachel has had a thing for Dex since they were in college together. But she is too shy and too introverted to tell him how she feels, and she just pretty much serves him on a silver platter to her best friend Darcy, who she feels like always gets what she wants. But one night, I think it's Darcy's 30th birthday party, and she goes home drunk, and Dex and Rachel decide to, stay out a little bit longer. And by this point, Rachel is drunk, and she tells him how she feels about him, even though he's engaged to Darcy. And they end up having a really steamy kiss in the back of a taxi, and, go all the way. And then throughout the book, like, I do not commend affairs, you guys, okay? I do not commend it at all. Like, that's why I say all the time, I can't do nothing until I'm divorced. Because I don't think affairs are, I feel like you reap what you sow, So, even though I didn't really agree with that book at all, I loved it, and I love the movie too. Like, I don't know why I loved it so much, but I do. It's one of my guilty pleasures. Something Blue. Now, okay, so everything comes to a head at the end of Something Borrowed. Darcy finds out that Dex and Rachel have been sleeping together. Darcy, has also been having an affair with Dex's best friend, Marcus. Yeah, because in the book, who is honking? That happens all the time, you guys. In the book, Darcy is trying to get Rachel and Marcus together. But, like, in the book, she's like, oh, Marcus is cute. Because she always feels like she can get whatever she wants. So she starts an affair with Marcus. And then everything comes to a head at the end of Something Borrowed. Spoiler alert, by the way. She ends up pregnant with twin boys at the end of Something Borrowed. And then at the beginning of Something Blue, her and Marcus don't work out. She tries to get Dex back. Like, she was like, he's so gorgeous. What was I thinking? But Dex has already moved on with Rachel, and they're engaged. And she was like, the way she sees it is that even though she cheated on Dex, like, there's a whole cheating thing going on here. She was like, okay, I don't know why I do. So she travels to, I think it's Paris, where Ethan is. And she was like, I will steal her best friend away from her and go to Paris and live with him and steal him away from her as a best friend. If you guys know what I'm saying. But of course, they end up falling in love. And I freaking love it. Because the man that plays Ethan in Something Borrowed, sorry, how long has that been there? Was John Krasinski, and I love John Krasinski, you guys. I am so mad that they never made a Something Blue movie. Like, even in the end credits of Something Borrowed, there's like a clip where she's arriving in Paris and she's like, hey, Ethan, and he like runs away. But they never made a movie, and I don't know why. Because I love the second one more than the first one. I love Something Blue better than I love Something Borrowed. Of course. So I'll never understand why they didn't make a movie. And I love Kate Hudson as Darcy. So yeah, Ethan. I love Ethan. He's described as kind of nerdy, but boyish charm. I love the book where she goes into labor and she calls him. I can remember in my mind's eye right now. She's like, I'm in labor. Can you come home? And he's like at a bar or something, like a work meeting. He's like, I'll be right there, click. Just thought it was the cutest thing. And that was before they, realized they were in love with each other. Like, They didn't even get together until the end. But I love Ethan. I do. Number 12 is Mark Darcy from Bridget Jones. These loud ass trucks, you guys, I swear. I hate that we're so close to the road. It pisses me off. So, as we all know, Bridget Jones was a book as well as a movie. And I thought Hollywood did such a great job with casting Colin Firth, right? Colin Firth as Mark Darcy. Colin Firth, again, boyish charm. I wouldn't really call him hot or sexy. He has just that, I don't even know how to describe it, you guys, but when I watched Bridget Jones and that part where he's so nervous and he's like, despite appearances, I like you very much. She was like, yeah, right, okay. So besides the, smoking and the drinking and the verbal mother, you like me. He was like, no, I like you just as you are. Oh my gosh, guys. Just a simple sentence, but it just speaks so much volumes, you guys. I love Mark Darcy. I love Mr. Darcy as well from Pride and Prejudice. I love anybody with the last name Darcy, as you can tell. Number 13 is Peeta from The Hunger Games. I'm a Peeta gal, you guys. I definitely preferred him over Gale, even more in the movies because Gale is played by Liam Hemsworth. I can't stand him. Peeta, oh gosh. And, Josh Hutcherson as Peeta. He's so short and cute. But in the movie, it's like he's always been in love with this girl. Ever since he saw her out in the rain, starving, trying to find food for her family. And he throws her a loaf of bread because his parents are bread makers. And from that moment, he's always been in love with her. And I want to get to the point where I can watch some movies. Because Catching Fire was the first movie that me and my ex went to go see together. Because I would really, because I loved the book series. Amazing. But I love the Hunger Games movie. Where they kiss for the first time. He says, now I'm definitely not going to let you go. I was just like, oh my gosh. 14 is another Ethan, and that is The Unhoneymooners by Christine Lauren. Once again, I can't remember the girl's name. I just know she's a twin. Her twin sister gets married, and her husband get sick off their reception buffet. And Ethan, the girl thinks that he has hated her, that he judges her, because she's described as, like pudgy. I wouldn't call it pudgy though. Like they describe her as pretty, but compared to her sister, completely different. And she's always thought that Ethan hated her because she describes in the book where she said she was eating, they were all at this fair and she was stuffing cheese curds in her mouth. And she said that he looked at her with disgust. But it wasn't disgust. So the sister and the husband agreed that Ethan and the other twin that didn't get sick because they both had they both didn't like buffets. So they both got like chicken or something. I can't remember. It was like a fish buffet. Don't ever trust fish, you guys. But they say you two should go on our honeymoon. pretend to be us and go on our honeymoon. So, and I forgot where they went. I think it was like Morocco or somewhere really beautiful. But you have to remember, she thinks that Ethan hates her. But he doesn't. And it's really steamy. It gets really steamy. The banter is amazing. It's funny. The one-liners, I've read that book 3 times. That's probably my favorite rom-com of all time. It's perfect. It's the perfect beach read. It's the perfect, it's just perfect. And Ethan is perfect. And then number 15 is Mr. Rochester from Jane Eyre. Only the William Hurt version. I remember being 5 years old and just thinking he was the most handsome thing I'd ever seen in my life. Yeah. Only the William Hurt version. I love the fact that he fell in love with her spirit. He fell in love with her heart, because she's described as plain, not pretty. But he falls in love with her spirit and her heart. But he has secrets. Again, he has secrets. But anyways, you guys. So, that was my bookish boyfriends list. Crushes list. If you guys, please let me know down in the comments what some of your favorite bookish boyfriend crushes are, because I love to know. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be talking to you soon. Love you guys. Bye-bye.